Hey guys, today we're going to be learning about the Gauss-Jordan elimination method for solving a matrix. Alright, so the way that you go about doing this is you have to turn the main diagonal into all ones, and all of the surrounding numbers are going to be 0. The Gauss-Jordan elimination method is a freehand method, meaning that there's many different ways you can go about solving it, and you can do whatever you need as long as you end up with the main diagonal as 1 and the surrounding numbers as 0 in the end. Alright, so the first step we took was by adding the first row and the second row. So as you can see, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Negative 1 plus 2 is equal to 1. And 1 minus 3 is equal to negative 2. And 0 minus 5 equals negative 5. So the next step that we did was we multiplied the first row by negative 2, and then we added it to the third row in order to get this 0 right here. So the next step that we did was we added row 2 to row 3, which gave us 1s across the main diagonal and 0s below it, which is the definition of the row echelon form. And also because of this change, another thing that happened was the 8, it went to a 3. So the next step that we took was we added row 2 to row 1, which changed the negative 1 into a 0 because row 2 has a 1 in it and row 1 has a negative 1, so we add them and that's how you get 0. And then for the other one, it would change to a negative 1 because we had a negative 2 and a 1, and you add that to get negative 1. And then on the other side we have a negative 5 and a 0, and that's how we changed it to negative 5. So the next step we did was add row 3 to row 1, which is what gave us 0 there, and then we added 3 plus negative 5, which gave us 2. So last but not least, the final step that we took was to add 2 times row 3 to row 2, and that would change the negative 2 to a 0, which would complete the reduced row echelon form, and also changed the negative 5 to a 1. And the numbers on the side are the final answers to the problem. So now the answer to our problem will be negative 2, 1, and 3. The first one, it represents the x value. The second one, it represents the y value, and the third one represents the z value.